Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back here. Sorry we weren't able to come in yesterday as we promised, but here we are. We are here. We had a very good email. We sent it a while back. We was using the proper opportunity to be next together and to answer it this video because I believe that this video is really needed out in the community. It is about when you let it go of your twin flame, would you ever gonna be feeling them as you used to feeling it? We also had a great comment today about finally the person realizing there was a difference between the 5D and the 3D. So we are going to be talking about today with Paulina is about when you let it go with your twin flame, what's happened right after this. A little bit, either though that we already talk about for some of the stuff here in the channel, but we're also going to be talking about what will happen as you feeling them or what you will feeling about them. So without further ado, giving the mic to Paulina.
Thanks. It's good to be back. There was quite a bit of a break we had, but it's always fun to make those videos sitting in the same room. The comment was good, the question was good, because I can see how. Do we have some issues now? Because the question that comes very often from people indicates that we still are sometimes confused into why we are getting mixed signals, why we are progressing on our journey, and we think like we understood everything and then suddenly we'll feel someone else's energy that we thought we detached from and what's this universe, what they are doing, why. And it always comes down to this surrender into this observant mode that you accept any type of information that comes to you, any type of sensation that comes to you, any type of emotion that comes to you, without necessarily projecting that it has to lead to certain scenario or it has to mean certain thing. Because anytime I read or I hear the question, will stop feeling them or will the telepathy stop? Will I get maybe less reminders as I move forward? I'm always asking like, why? Like, why do you care so much? Like, why can you just let those guidance, those reminders, those even thoughts or emotions, like let them come to you, let them show you how you progressed, where have you been in the past, and where are you right now. And the more you can really detach from, those triggers, or we can call them triggers, we can call them confusions, the more you're getting detached from it and just go on with your journey, with your life, the more you can tell by yourself that you're not influenced by those little turbulences, or it's just the mind space is so confusing that it's unnecessarily taking the focus from the proper 3D reality that we have right now. So I'm not saying to reject. Maybe some people will be thinking, oh, it doesn't mean I have to reject anything that happened in the past. And no, you never reject any single part that happened to you in the journey, but you don't attach yourself to it. And you don't try to um maybe make yourself forget or make yourself numb, because that's what many people would like to do. That it just once they let go of some part of experience, they would like to numb themselves and make themselves forget, which is not necessarily the case, because as a reminder, your soul is choosing this journey and your soul is choosing every single experience that's coming to you, not for the purpose of rejecting or forgetting. It's for the purpose of remembering and taking those experiences, those memories for the future and build on that. Hopefully that clarifies the first part.
Very good points because I was about to talk about, first of all, did you really let it go of your twin? Because if you let it go of your twin, all this intensity, all this feelings, and also on, just to remind you that the obsession that it comes in with that ignition and this obsession of constantly thinking about it. this non-stop has been there. All of a sudden, when you turn into a let it go, you feel like something went away from you, or like, oh my God, what did I did, or how, and then how I'm gonna be going forward. You're gonna be forcing in a way to go forward within a journey, because you see within your mind you still processing of this consciousnesses, constantly thinking about them. And if you're beginning to have this conflict within you of between what the reality is, that in the reality you don't have that connection, but the 5D world existing in there, you're going to be finding out that you are beginning to heal from the codependency in a 5D, this codependency that is in there. And then you're finding your own powers, powers to move on, your powers to evolve, your powers to shift the love back to you, your powers into continue so forward within this. But still, you're asking the one question: can that connection be happening? Do I'm going to be feeling them as I used to? I feeling them. When you check yourself out in there with these positions, particularly within you, what you are going to feel. See, if you truly let it go, you're going to feel only the triggers. Now, let me explain what those triggers are. You're going to be feeling the unprocessed emotions that you have, unprocessed situations with them that you have not let it go. Those are the things that they're gonna comes in and they're gonna bug you. They're gonna be like reminders, as Paulina said, if you are listening to her, because you have not fully let it go. So if you are fully let it go of the connection, you fully let it go, you will have the memories, you will have the experience, you will have the knowledge, the wisdom that came with it. Okay, but you're not going to be in a way of feeling them as that intensity, because this kind of like a constant thinking about it, constantly giving the energies about it is not going to be there. And I'm going to be talking about later on about how the things will happen if you ever feel them again. What actually you are going to be with you and where you're standing at with that.
Mm.
So back to you there, Link.
Now, even thinking about the whole journey as you are, the sooner you're able to just kind of master energies or feelings or sensations, the sooner you realize that it really comes to you to teach you to be observant on this journey, the sooner you will remove the unnecessary resistance, you will remove expectations, you will stop closing yourself down to up to the certain scenarios. So this is almost like teaching yourself to really go with the flow. Like I'm sensing like releasing a lot of blockages that you and you can help yourself with that, because the moment that you really stop attaching any sort of scenarios that will be putting in your head, especially when we try to very often we try to maybe predict what certain sensation mean or what certain thought mean, what certain telepathic messages mean, and we try to close ourselves down, narrow down our certain scenarios that may be happening. Meanwhile, blocking completely what may be really unfolding for you with a certain individual, maybe with a different individual, maybe on your own, but really along your soul journey. So, one way of thinking of that is just anytime you're getting some sort of connection or maybe reminders, or I'm guessing from the question that we got, the person is thinking about someone. So this running legend is in the community is like, when I think about my twin flame, does it mean he or she thinks about me? And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe yes, maybe not. You never know. But the point is like, can you move on with your life if any time it happens, knowing that it may continue? It's like maybe a person would be looking for an answer to say, yes, it will go away, you will never have it. But no, actually, it's like you never know. And based on my experience, maybe Dio can confirm, those thoughts are not going away. They are staying in the background, and you are learning to navigate them. You're learning not to be overwhelmed by anything that happens in your mind because you're anchored in reality and you say, okay, I have all those different scenarios that can potentially lead to certain outcomes in the future or in the same timeline. This is the whole, combination of the opportunities that we are getting and tapping into this present moment. But the only anchors you have is your 3D situation that is unfolding right now. And it's a little bit of like training not to get engaged so much into this mental clutter that will be going on, or who knows, maybe that's just from this different part of yourself that you keep exploring in different dimensions and timelines. But we need to kind of trick ourselves or train ourselves to stay anchored in this reality that is being presented. And very often it's gonna be leading to maybe connection with a completely different person. So it's up to you, where do you want to anchor yourself? Do you want to keep moving with what is presented to you, or kind of dispersing your energy? Because that's really what it is, right? Like this sort of um how what's the word I need? Like distraction, unnecessary distraction, because you cannot focus on two things. You cannot focus on 5D reality or some messages or something from this energetic space, and also be anchored here, working with your 3D reality. Ultimately, yes, they will be going together in the same path because they're ultimately they are meant to merge. But until it happens and you find yourself into this like 5D and 3D, what am I gonna believe? I would really suggest observe your 3D situation and see how it is coming down. But never try to make 5D come down. It's just always, how do I explain? Probably we're gonna get more explanations for this, but really your 3D experiences and whatever is presented to you at the present moment, this is your guidelines.
Let me explain. I've been explaining this for a while, and if you guys knows me, it is what it is. Okay, I'll start it from here, from this magical phrase that has so much in there. You look at the 5D reality, you look at the 3D reality, and you find that it's not is what it is, or what you think it is, or what it is. Okay. And you look at it here in the 3D reality, and it is what it is. Now the reality is shaking you out. Okay. Because if something is true upstairs, it should be true downstairs. Hermetism. Okay. It comes in from very old cultures. It comes in from the gravity. It's one of the universal law. Okay. It cannot be bent. All right. But as a Paulina said, we have to take a look at it where we are. Are we are in a different timeline? Are we in a different dimension? Are we in a different positions? Are we are in illusions? You see, the only way you can figure these things out is when you are in the 3D reality of it is what it is. You can't change what it is because it is. Okay? Bottom line, that's what your beginning is. So, about this merge of the 3D and the 5D. Okay, you're going to be getting the energies that's going to be telling you, oh, we are merging in a 5D and so on, so on, but in 3D, there is nothing coming up. And then why? Because some of the energy that is in a 5D cannot be bringing in here. Why? Because it cannot be manifested. It's not truth. It's not been processed. It's not being properly absorbed within you to go ahead to manifest in a 3D or within your partner. So when you figure these things out, you're gonna be really start getting yourself of really for truthfully let it go of that because he has not what hasn't manifest is not the truth, is not working the way it's supposed to be. The connection, the way it works is you and I were dreaming pretty much about the same thing. Or you and I felt like this and these energies. I feel like I should have called you, but you called me. That's when at the 5D and the 3D, that they're mixed. They're coming together. Okay, they're mixing, they're merging in there. You know about those energies. But When the things will go wrong and you let it go of your twin, what you will ever gonna feel. So what's gonna happen is within our cases here, with also with other people, okay, in there I will mention Wolf for that example, that we went out with another soul connections. But in that soul connection, whatever was not processed of the twin flame was processed with them. Okay. And the only thing that you are ever going to be feeling right now, or a sense from your original twin, if you have to be in that case more technically presumed within that situations, um, it is about that you are going to be like either feeling a grief or the unprocessed situations in there. They're going to be coming because it triggers. Okay, but you're not going to feel that love. You're not going to feel this sadness. You're not going to feel all that because that is healed. When you're talking about your twin flame that originally get you in there, doesn't make you cry, doesn't make you feel sad, doesn't have all these energies of like your throat is frozen. It doesn't have all those energies of like you are like all this kind of like drunk and so on and so way, kind of like your eyes is like ooh ah in there. Are you talking about with peace? You're talking about how beautiful that was and how that helps you and where you at, and that doesn't anymore affecting your life. Now you know that you let go, but you also know how you healed. You healed the codependency. You're healing our processes that happen within you, probably healing our patterns of family and so on and so on. Okay. So you're not going to feel that. Yeah, the only thing you're going to feel it is the unprocessed things. Yes, maybe once in a while you're going to be wish like what going to happen if I'm going to be go back with them. Let's say you went up to another soul connection, and that soul connection doesn't work out, and you're like, oh my God, maybe I should go back into my twin flame. You go back in there, and there is nothing happens. Some of the cases, the twin flame comes in and things are not working out. So they're running or you're running, or you're getting it together. The things are not healed, and the traumas comes in and triggers the same thing, and you're getting what again and this separation. So if the separation is done in a proper way to do the inner work, and you keep the connections fitting together, that's a blessing. But if you that separations is in there, that it comes in, and that separations was very bad because of unhealed wounds. You wounded each other instead of helping each other in there. You created this negative energies because things was not healed in there. That is going to be calling for let it go. And during this let it go, whatever the process is, you have not healed. They're going to be triggered in the next connections on every other relationships you want to have because the things has not been processed from within yourself. But it is what it is. You can't change that. Be
Yeah,
mindful about it.
but also you can observe yourself. You can see like what attitude you have. Even if you have those episodes that you either feel somewhere or someone or think about someone, does it trigger you? Does it cause you like, oh my God, I have to stop doing it. It's just, it's bad or whatever. It's not healthy. This person has to go. Is there a negative pattern that is associated with it? Or is just, oh yeah, yeah, this person exists. Like they have their life. They have their freedom of choice. They have their lessons and all of that without really putting any emotions. I'm not saying negative, like wishing not bad or like trying to reject or anything, and positive, trying to say, oh, let me send some love to my twin flame. Let me just send them some bliss. No, just you stay objective and just don't add more energy than what it's presented to you because it's gonna flow through you and it's gonna just pass. So maybe looking a little bit more into this kind of like distractions that we as twin flames in this journey we are being prepared. This is one big preparation that we are getting through to learn to control our emotions, or maybe not even that, act despite emotions. Like, know when we are supposed to listen to them, but also know how much of them sometimes they are based on our old ways of thinking, some old traumas that we missed, we haven't healed yet, or maybe some codependencies. So, staying observant and just really waiting for a proper moment. That's another big lesson that we are here having, that it's, if something is for you, it's not gonna miss you, really. If something is really on someone else's mind, on their heart, eventually they will take responsibility for that. So that's another this I think I we have to talk a little bit more how on its importance, like what are we really doing here? The fact that you got ignited in one of those connections means that you're being prepared, not prepared for thinking constantly about what other person is doing and whether they feel you or think about you. No, you're being prepared to start building proper connections. And most of the time, they will be requiring you getting emotion detached. And I'm not saying from the twin flame experience, emotion detached from what happens in your relationship, independent who is the person in the relationship. It's just there are moments that you are asked to step back and see the clarity first, not judging situations, because especially when we are dealing with soul connections, it can get messy, and it's very often you're gonna be doing things that are against your logic or against your even feelings sometimes, because as I said, some of those feelings are old, they have old roots, and you have to learn think in a new way. So maybe if some people will see it from this perspective, it's a preparation. So all this ignition state and all of that, it's not meant to keep you busy for too long. It's just, yeah, you see the lessons, you see what it is. But if there was some certain person associated with this experience, just have them there, but don't cling on to that, because you're going to miss out on what's happened next. Because you're going to distract yourself on this very beginning stage, like 10% of the journey, while you have all of these things that are being unfolding for you.
No, I was about to start talking about it, and it was kind of like laughing a little bit if you saw me on the screen at the moment that she was talking about. Those are the old feelings. Let me talk to you about a little bit about the old feelings. Um, Things that separate you with your twin, those are old feelings inside of you that you're carrying from the previous karmic connections, love connections that you have not processed in there. So when a twin comes in and triggers them, and you not work them out, you're not the truth, you're not what it is, and they are not what it is. So there is no, it is what it is. In there, things are beginning to be really messy. Okay, and that is a coming in because there is no lack of educations on the soul connections on the soul spirituality, soul ignitions and how they're operated. And since the psyche is not trained from within you, that problems they begin to rise up. And you're really going to find out that it wasn't actually those emotions in there, those emotions that you have not processed from the previous relationships, that you carry it with you. You carry into the twin flame, and now you're carrying them after even you let it go of your twin flame. So, after you let it go of your twin flame, I will suggest you one very important thing. And this is what actually me and Paulina we have experiencing in there. You stop looking to be with somebody. You stop don't wanting to be with somebody. Whatever it's meant to you, you're going to be attracting it so in a total different way. It's going to be internal peace in the soul. So you only want your peace within the soul because you're working on yourself, you're progressing on yourself, you want to be by yourself, you like to be by yourself, you're healing by yourself. Okay, and now you work that out. You process those portions of those unprocessed emotions. Okay. And then when you're getting into a connection, you're going to be tested on that. Okay. And if there is anything that is still unhealed, it's going to be coming and it's going to be triggered. Are you, uh, are you going to be repeating the same old patterns? Because sometimes you're going to be caught to those old patterns as Paulina was talking about. Those old patterns, you cannot bring it into this relationship. All those old patterns, they destroyed all your previous relationship, including with the twin flame. They're going to be destroying the relationships you have here too. Okay. So if you have not processing all those energies, they're going to be coming in trigger. You're going to feel it through the twin flame. The question is can you have that ability within yourself and to realize that those are the patterns from before? And that's what me and Paulina were trying to tell you. Okay. Because your twin flame has the same situations, probably unprocessed, unhealed patterns within themselves that causing that totally breaking out. Because some of those connections, because they are very intense within the twin flames in there, you want the things now. You feel this pressure. You feel this cooking the connection. It's kind of like you're feeling this heat. You should not feel the heat. Everything is okay. You should feel at peace. Okay. In a very beautiful, gentle, nicely smell energy. You want to smell like this sweet flowers or it's got this particular essence in there. So take a look inside of you. And if you think that will I ever gonna feel that love within me? Well, the love that you not permitted in there, that you didn't have between you and your twin flame, you have to give it to yourself. And then when you getting into a new connections where it's going to be orchestrated by the universe, okay, that portion, you're going to be able to do this energy love exchanges with the new person. And then you're going to be feeling what does it takes, what it is, how it is you to feel that, how it is you to understand. Even if there is an issue, even there is a problem, even if it is something, you choose to understand, not to judge, not to scream, not to yell, not to demand from the others what to do. You choose to understand. Why is this? And then the patterns beginning to fix more and more and more. Okay. And then when you fix it more and more, that feelings about the previous twin flame, they just basically is going to be very blurry. They're not going to be that strong. They're not going to be that intensified anymore. You process the grief. You process the unhealed emotions with them. You processed the whole relationships with them. And now you beginning to understand happiness from within. You're beginning to build a interdependence where you are independent and trustful from within yourself. You don't feel like what is going on with this and so on and so on. Now you're understanding in and out the journey as it comes time because you're operating again from it is what it is. It's hard, but let me tell you something. It's very much worth it.
Mm.
So
Brings you back in the right spot. That's for sure. And that's a big expansion that comes with it as well. The moment that you really realize that you're gonna be working with things that has been presented for to you in the given moment, whether you like it or not like it, you just accept what it is. And it's like, okay, oh, I see this worked out. I see it didn't work out. But what can I do next? Without, of course, like grieving process is one big part of it. But as you said, Gio, is learn to be in peace. Learn how does it feel to be in peace on your own, then gradually expand within your circle, within your field. Be very selective in who are you surrounded with. Just really make sure that you're maintaining this peace and you know how it feels. Like you know exactly the difference between the drama and old ways and old triggers and just dealing with things immaturely versus this peaceful resolutions, because it's going to be very helpful for you to start building the proper relationship, because you're scanning, like you're constantly improving your scanner for the right people to have in your life. So if you're, I'm not saying hyper vigilant, but if you're cautious when building those new relationships, you're going to be filtering out anything that doesn't match this vibration that you wish for yourself. And the only way, just imagine, no, most of the time when we are getting ignited, we are almost like on the edge of being a mess, emotionally, mentally. We are just one of these lowest states in most cases. So this is very far from being peaceful. This is very far from being in the right vibration right away. So we are getting ignited. Everything is so beautiful, but we have no idea what's going on. We are so confused. So then what happens is the separation happens for the very reason to bring you back the peace, to give you a sense how it feels to be at peace with yourself first. When you get away with all distractions and all this drama, people start falling out from your life and all this, but ultimately you're gonna reach this certain point of a peace, and that's what gonna be emitting. And from that moment, the universe will be bringing you people, circumstances, all these opportunities, and you're gonna be swifting through, because it's gonna be your choices. You know how it was in the past, you know where you wanna go. What will be the choices you're gonna be making? What type of people you are gonna be inviting into your life? Sometimes you will be asked, do you want to cling on some person from the past? Maybe that the one that was very important for you, but you see they are not healthy for you anymore. So you're gonna be choosing them or you quite a few times as well. So based on that, as you are very cautious and you choose yourself, you're gonna be getting more and more connected with the right people. And again, some people are thinking having twin flames in the back of their heads, and it's like, oh, sometimes twin flame has to stay in the past as well. It's sometimes sad, sometimes it's hard, difficult, painful, but this is again choices that you're making constantly, because you cannot have the old things that are not working and opening yourself to the new things that are meant for you. So yeah.
Mhm.
Diffi- Difficult parts on the journey that are leading in a very beautiful resolutions, but you can probably sense like this is really teaching you this accountability and responsibility for your choices, and how certain steps that we make, they are bringing you either closer to something new, those kind of new energies that we are saying and talking about in this channel, or they will be bringing you back, because there is going to be, oh, but what about this old connection, like twin flame? No, you can sense how this old belief systems and new, it's still belief system, but the new paradigm is working. And what is the difference between the two?
That's going to be a heart in there, what Paulina is talking about. When the two belief systems, the one from there's only one twin flame comes in, that doesn't work at all, and you finally getting it. And the new paradigm that says like heal you, you're gonna have another connection when the universe is gonna comes in and tells you this, what you're going to do. You're gonna have this inner fight within yourself. And here is gonna be the clash within what do you feel about your twin flame? If you overcome this fight in there, you find this inner peace. And after the inner peace and the work that you do it, and then you are open yourself. Okay, you gotta be open to receive somebody to come into your life. Can be closed shut, and then it's just trying to do something. It's not going to help. Okay, you gotta be open to receive. So it's gonna take you time to open and receive. It's gonna be taking you some time, but you're gonna be start feeling um, your twin flame far away, because when you touching into the reality, if it is what it is, you're gonna be figure out, oh my God, what I've been thinking, where I've been. I feel these energies. I felt that situations between me and them. I know there has been a truth in there, but why we couldn't get it? Okay. This wise, where they comes in into you, they are going to be the leading you on your path to evolve. Okay. And when you process all this ignition state from within, when you process all the grief, when you process all these emotions, when you process all the, well, why we are not together, all the questions about why we are not together in there, all of a sudden they're going to fade out. They're not even going to be in your gravity field anymore. They're not going to be even coming up. So only one times you're going to be figuring out when did they come to you. Okay. This is where your current connection doesn't work out and you facing the same challenges as you faced with them that didn't work out. It's going to give you reminders. That's mean that right now you have to look at it with your current partner of the things you need to evolve. Those things is going to come up. Like it or not, it is what it is. But your level of energies, if you properly let it go of them, okay, in a good way. Hey, baby, hey, universe, here's your baby. Here's the twin flame. You let him go to the universe because there is nothing happening anymore. You let him go out of your system, but you processing the emotions, you processing the energies into you. And that's what it takes for you to become your twin flame to your own self. Cannot be a twin flame for somebody else until you are the twin flame itself. Can't love somebody until you don't love yourself. Doesn't work that. Can't understand others if you haven't understand yourself. Whatever is out, so it's in. Okay? Whatever is up is down. So understanding that principles, but you practicing and putting into your processing your emotions, your energies, and so on, is going to be giving you the peace. Why? Because you have the balance. You see, the inner peace, it's come from balance. You're okay with or without. You're okay with what it is above and so is below. It is what it is. And now you have this peace because you don't go out to this energies. One day you love them and they don't call you, and the next day it's like you don't want to talk to them. You don't have that energies anymore. You don't have this intense energies that you want to be with them. You don't have this codependency with them anymore. It's like they just came into what? To ignite you, to wake you up, to get you in another place that you need to be, and you to move on with your journey because they choose not to be with you. They made that choice. You just haven't got it yet within yourself. And it's hard for a lot of the people to get into this point. Okay. There is some cases, where they can choose. That is a whole another story. But we're talking about it for most of the people. They don't choose. There is no choice in there. Even the some of the cases, they are actually going into a lot of the toxicity into the relationships. And people ask if that is really a twin flame connection. Oh, you haven't become twin flame to ask for twin flame connections, but that is a whole another level of
I will be very cautious.
understanding.
No, that's we were talking several times how our understanding about the journey will be bringing you the experience that you believe in. So if just keep monitoring what your belief systems are about the twin flame connections, because that's what's gonna be manifesting for you. So if you're just hovering around this drama that twin flame connections are so hectic and those polarities and those running and chasing up, that's what you're putting into your system. And very big chance that that's how your personal connection with like a twin flame connection will be manifesting. So it's really about like what are you feeding into your field as well, because the more like you're increasing the vibrations, you stop resonating with these ideas of drama. You almost like a shift your way of understanding about the twin flame experience. So you're gonna be understanding it from a higher perspective and see, oh, I don't care about the twin flame label. It's just I see I'm choosing the healthy connections. And then you're gonna be associating yourself with those different types of twin flames that are saying about how twin flame experience, there is no drama in twin flame experiences. There is no runner and chaser. They are just two people who are choosing themselves and they won't hurt each other. And then, that's just the one layer. Like we are talking about the different layers, how we try to explain to us those connections. There is no ultimate expression the way I see it. It's just you will find yourself resonating with different explanations for that. Gradually, you will maybe finding yourself that you feel, oh, maybe there are even more than one, more than two. Maybe there are like a bunch of different connections that we have that we are being asked to embrace, to accept, to give complete freedom of the expression, how they want to navigate. Whenever they have to go, they're free to go. Whoever's supposed to stay, they will stay. Because you're acting from this space of very strong self-confidence, and you're like, okay, I don't need a person who don't choose me. There will be another. I'm working here with the universe, and it's as long as I'm choosing my path, I know that right people will be staying. So you see how you're going to be upgrading in your own belief systems, and as a result you're going to be attracting healthier expressions of the twin flame experience. So we're going to be entering this divine partnerships. Like right now we are not talking about the drama and chasing it. Like we are not even making the videos about those kinds of stages, because this is not as we understand the journey. We'll tell you, you have to heal yourself if you believe that's what the twin flame experience is about, and then you move forward on your personal journey, and you see how the universe wants to give you those energies to work with, so you can create those like conscious relationships and also educate people on the way. But it's just really a reminder of people to people that whatever current belief system you have about your twin flame experience, be mindful, because that you're gonna keep yourself stuck in there.
That reminds me about Lindy Calvin. Do not get stuck. Do not put your life on hold.
Life
Uh,
is the one thing, but just really like the
yeah,
reality that will be ultimately unmanifesting, right?
yeah. When you were talking about the divine partnership, sharing it here, guys, with you, when you crossing into this path of the twin flame, and you entering the divine relationships in there, that original twin flame, you're not gonna feel it that much as well. There is this kind of like a divine energies guarding, even if you're trying to connect on a 5D to them, or you try to remember it, it's not. You're gonna know like there is no point, there is no actions, there is no this energies field. You operate, you cross that. It's the same way you're gonna feel when you cannot go back anymore to a karmic relationship because you are gonna get ignited in a twin flame. Okay, you're gonna feel it this, but that's mean that you did the proper things within yourself. Okay, as I said, I stated in there, feeling them. Okay, it's gonna come in, but it's gonna be fading out. It's kind of like because you constantly not gonna be thinking obsessively about them, because constantly thinking about one person is obsession. Okay. And if you're constantly thinking about it, constantly in your mind, constantly about it, then that obsession is not love. Okay. That is obsession is going to be turning to what was the term? Limerence. Okay. Limerence. Okay. So you're going to find those paths inside of you. Your psyche is going to be developing there. Well, once you're crossing into the divine relationships, when the divine comes in and tells you, you and you getting together, and I'm here to put you and prove you that you two have to be together under the divine. Guess what? Here is your twin flame experience in life. We're talking about from personal experience here, guys. That is not anything like this. And you're gonna know that when these things happen, there is always gonna be a what? Witnesses. One of the divine works is always wants to have a witnesses. They are gonna be outside that of them. So it can be for the proof that divine energies are working. A lot of the people don't believe in that. If they don't believe, that is their problem. Okay. And that's what you need to understand in there, that to the all these mysteries in there, the biggest thing, the biggest fingers in all this is the divine. Okay. And that's what you have to be thankful about it. But you have to be open to listen to them. When they tell you, you cannot do this, this is too toxic. Even if you go on with them, you cannot be able to achieve what you're supposed to as a child.
Mm.
You're too codependent. And you know what? A lot of you trying to do absolutely anything and everything to be with that person who actually doesn't even want to communicate with you. You love them as the highest, and you put them into this pedestal inside of you. They don't even want to know you. You're like a garbage for them in some way. Okay. So when you are going to be stepping up within yourself and realize, you know what, I got to put myself together and I have to move with the divine. And then the divine's going to handle it.
Mm.
Okay. The way you said, like, here, divine, here is your baby. That's the same way the universe is like, thank you. I'm going to be holding you as my baby. But you don't realize these things until you don't walk within these processes in your self. So, yes, you are going to feel them, but the things that you're going to have feeling after you let it go, properly let it go. If they keep coming back to you, if they're coming, bothers you in the dreams, if you cannot find yourself, you have not fully let it go. Okay? You have not let it go.
Mm.
The only thing is going to be let it go when you tell your stories and doesn't
Mm.
have anything with you.
Yeah, maybe one piece of advice to people who are finding themselves in the situation that those thoughts or emotions that they're still bringing some triggers or some stronger sensation is just observe it. If it comes to you as a trigger or as some strong feeling, ask yourself what it is. Is it are you missing them, or do you want to tell them something, or are you expecting some kind of closure, some sort of apology? And then remember that you really cannot have control over other people's actions. So many people, I believe, they're looking for closure, and they say, only if I get the ultimate closure I can move on, because I will hear it from them. So just a reminder that just not speaking at all, it's also some sort of a closure, because it cannot be more stronger sign of like immaturity and disrespect. So of course there are many, many different scenarios, but don't allow this lack of closure, because it even has some psychological background that we need this ultimate clarity to move on, because we are holding on to this very last, like a piece of hope, until they said it's over. I believe maybe they will be coming back, but just allow the reality to really show you where things are working and where they are not working, because this is another lesson that is very helpful, because you're gonna be entering spaces where you're being asked to wait because things are being prepared. You're gonna be asked not to completely engage with the situation because it's totally a wrong direction for you. And there are gonna be moments that you're gonna be asked to perform, and there's gonna be no doubt about it. But the only way to really teach yourself with this is just act on those realities that are being presented, because that's all you will have. At some moments the guidance is stopping, and there are moments that all you have is 3D, and you try to operate from the higher energies here in this realm, and you're asking yourself, oh, but what am I supposed to do? I don't have my higher guidance anymore. And this is like all you've learned in this preparation stages throughout this, like a twin flame stages, until the graduation, let's call it. It's gonna be helpful, very helpful, as you get more responsibilities in your hands from the energies, because it's like you're maturing, like you're not gonna be handled by them like a baby, like you're getting more responsibilities, and you need to know when to act, how to act, when not to act, when to be patient, and yeah, very helpful.
She's still my words. Anyway, when she was talking about the reality, I was one piece of advice. let the reality slap you in your face. It's going to be a part of your graduations as a twin flame. Because when that comes in, the reality hits you, okay? You accept it. Because if you cannot accept the reality, you don't live in the reality. You live in the imaginary blank thing that can create a lot of, let me say, I don't know the words of Mel's coming, kakapupu things. You create a lot. But when that reality comes in, it's going to be the greatest graduations you're ever going to do because you're going to be accepting the reality from the soul. Okay. You're not going to be accepting. So when your soul accepts the reality in the 3D, now you're ready. Now you're ready because you will know how it feels. What is the truth? Okay. What is the truth? But you got to get that slap in the face. A lot of the people, they get one slap, two slap, three slaps. Don't go that way. Okay. You need to get to this core truth right in now, right here, in this time, in this place, in this timeline. Okay. We can have so many additional Earths out there, so many different universe realities out there, and so on. But you're living on this one, and when that reality shows up, that is when you find the reality as it is. And when you do that, you honoring your soul, you're honoring the divine, because you finally get into the reality within your soul, which is that is going to be that graduations. Because you can't have this soul connections. You can't have all this if you're living in the fantasies, because it's not the truth. You're breaking out of the matrix of this la land. You're coming into the reality. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to hit you hard. But you know what? It's going to worth it because it's going to be the truth. Then your eyes is going to open, your energies is going to be open, your heart's going to be reopening in a totally different way. But until that comes in there, the slap of that truth is going to come out to you guys. And I hope that this video is going to kind of like help you out in there within this. Stay in the present, stay in the course, stay into the reality, but don't forget what was that experience gave you. Because that experience as a twin flame, it came to you for a reason. And as Paulina said, you can go ahead and have that experience. You may have to teach the others. Not everyone has to become the twin flame coach, teacher, and so on and so on. Okay. But when you know who you are and what you are and what you need to teach and talk about it, you are going to be told by the universe in there. And you're going to know. Okay. But that's what we are sharing with you today. I don't know. Do you
Yeah,
have
there was
anything?
just, yeah, one reminder about this being grateful for the experience because it came again that that's the only way for you. If you're looking for some sort of closure, like peace is your closure, if you are able to reach this peaceful state and let go and leave person be without any expectations of the outcome and just imagine themselves being separate beings, that they start building their own life, they make their own choices, and you wish them well. And you have nothing against that. And also, you're not over putting this, you don't put them on the pedestal and just, you find your balance in all of that and you find peace with that. This is your closure, and that means that you're ready for the next step. Who knows what's the next step? You don't know what is the next step, but you embrace the whole experience as it came to you. You benefit so much from it. It's like you learned a lesson, you put it on a shelf, and right now you're ready. That's your way of showing the universe that you appreciate the connections, you're grateful, and you receive all the blessings that have been associated with it. Because otherwise, like, you're blocking, and you're gonna keep repeating the same stuff. Maybe with this person, maybe with another person, but at any point you can choose just to embrace the lesson as it comes to you, or break certain patterns, let go of the old, and just like gratitude is really bringing you into the right course. Because sometimes if you cannot get yourself like grateful for the experiences and you find you fall in this negative, that means that you still have something to look into because something is still like holds you in the past that you cannot freely walk away. So I think that's my last thing because it's gonna get too long.
Exactly, guys.
Thanks so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Any questions? Free to email to us. You can connect to us through the email that it's in our website. You see it, our website on your screens. And with that being said, I want to wish you good luck. But I want to wish you good luck with the slap into the reality.
Hmm.
You
Don't
deserve
fear.
that. Don't have fear. Have a courage. Have an honor. Have a dignity. Have a self-respect.
Hmm.
Okay, because some of the people have not self-respect in there within themselves. Have that within you, and touch base with the divine. Let the divine is guiding you, or let the divine is helping you achieve that inner peace, and the rest is in the hands of the universe.
Hmm.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you the next time.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.